Together we light up the night.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Maybe you don't remember, maybe you are unaware, but we have an OG, dear judge, my best friend, pen pal, that I almost forgot about. Welcome, Christine. Thank you, Wolfram, for doing your Modly Mod stuff. Welcome, Penny and Fun Diane and Debbie Blair. Welcome, everyone who's lurking. I hope you are having a wonderful Christmas Eve. And uh, oh, sorry, Mr. Mo is trying to text me uh, cinnamon rolls. Sorry. Sorry, I'm telling him that I asked him to get peach pie filling, and he was like, "Are you making me peach cobbler?" And I said, "No, it's for the cinnamon roll peach bake that I was going to make in the slow cooker." And he's like, "Well, can I get 2 cans?" So I'm like, "Yes." Sorry, I cannot multitask to save my life. But there was an OG, well, we'll just call her letter writer, uh, that I remembered from my first trial. So the Leticia Staunch trial, the Gannon Stauch trial, was my very first trial, and I was, kind of the first thing that I streamed, I was on Dave's channel, and he kindly and possibly naively invited me on, said, "Hey, you're funny in chat. You wanna come on?" And I was like, "I don't know. I got nothing better to do." And he was so kind. He gave me a crash course on how to use a computer, plug it in, turn it on. All these things were new to me. So Dave was incredibly helpful in getting me started. But the Leticia Stauch case started, you know, Gannon Stauch was alive and on this earth from September 29th, 2008 to January 27th, 2020. And in heartbreaking, horrifying manner, his stepmother was found to have created multiple elaborate stories to explain how Gavin went to a friend's house and he asked for bath salts, and then there was Eduardo who came into the house as he was fixing carpet, and he took Gannon and assaulted Letecia. Letecia needed to go to, you know, the hospital to get an SA kit, and then was it Leroy Jenkins or Leroy Jones? I mean, she just made an incredibly large amount and odd daggone and lying to people about what happened and what was going on while, his mother came to be with the family, to be with Al, his father. And, Leticia made a big stink about his ex-wife being there. I mean, we are going to speed run the trial either next week or the week after to kind of commemorate my first trial. I do understand it's a kid trial. It is gonna be rough. Some of the things that this poor little boy went through. This poor little boy was not only shot, but he was bludgeoned and and something else. It was just a horrific symphony of brutality that was placed upon this boy. for reasons that we still don't know. Now, Leticia Staunch, let me go back and get a picture of this particular monster. We can remember her from such pictures as these, looking like a, swamp hag from hell. And she continued looking like a swamp hag from hell throughout the entire trial, while not when not pretending to have multiple personalities. Because yes, Miss Leticia Stauch decided to bring in Beverly, Dr. Beverly of the DID. Every single inmate that she's looked at has had some form of dissociative identity disorder. Now, as we all know, Leticia Staunch was sent away for a gajillion years, never to be seen again, unfortunately, until she appeals her case or what have you. And we'll see all of that, but I'm going to focus on the letters because I think my boys have eaten their weight in Christmas cookies. Now, we still have a fair bit for Santa, but I think they have all eaten about their body weight in sugar. And Mr. Moe's like, "I found cake mix. What else do you need for cobbler?" I do the fakey cobbler where you just put cake mix on top, put butter on top, and call it a day. Yes, I know you're supposed to actually make a mix and no, not this year. But let's get into the new, well, not new, the OG Judge Pen Pal, Leticia Staunch. She is insane. Uh, You can tell this is her first letter. This is her freaking, John Doe from Seven handwriting. I only say that because this looks kind of very similar to my handwriting, and I always call my handwriting the kind of style John Doe from Seven. I have terrible, not even close to girl handwriting. It is insane. Now, this is the next letter. Now, obviously, this is kind of the handwriting I always wanted. This is the handwriting I have. It's so unfair. How did she get back to girl handwriting and I'm still stuck with, well, you know, yes, she has dense writing, so let's get into this. For Judge Gregory Werner, good afternoon, sir. I thank you for taking the time out to read my letter. God, her and Sarah Boone just laying it on thick from the start. Like, this is a full inch of frosting thick of, like, butt kiss. And my concerns about an unfair process that has been going on in my case. I have expressed these concerns several times to my defense team, and I feel that I've not been afforded my rights as a United States citizen. Dear God, did Sarah Boone listen to these letters and just half-ass, copy paste? Or are they some kind of hive mind of cahootness? Is this a hive mind situation? Are all of the bitches in the world, with a cahoonty attitude connected together in some sort of hive mind of bitch? I just need to know. I'm just trying to ask. I'm just asking questions, Jesse Ventura style. I'm just asking to see if any of this makes sense. Holy Jesus, the next line. It has been 5 months, and I've met with my defense team one time in March 2020. She copy pasted it. It is the middle of August. I understand this pandemic is unforeseen, but I don't feel I should be held unconstitutionally, denied access to my attorneys, have constitutional rights violated, and be abused by the process. S- Shut up, Leticia. First, as you know, there is over 30,000 and growing pages of discovery in my case because you made up 11 to 12 fucking ridiculous stories that the cops had to look at. Not to mention all your shenanigans with, fake lie detector, how to find a man with money, how to get money from men, how my boyfriend doesn't love me, my husband picks his kids over me. I mean, dear God, ma'am, you are the reason for the 30,000 pages of discovery. You did not even like shenanigans all over. I cannot successfully participate in my defense, on a phone call 3 times a week, 1 hour, at the jail. I have no way to view any videos, read any reports, review phone data, etc. I am not an active participant in my case. I know that the jail is listening to my attorney-client calls, as on several occasions. Oh, thank you, Alice G. I'm really digging this color. Full disclosure, I wanted a brighter, more vibrant red with just a touch of brown. I was going sexy poison ivy, but I kind of like this. This is like brownish red. I'm okay with it. So thank you so much. Now let's see here. Where am I? Because with her freaking my handwriting. I love that I can read this well because it's like, "Oh, it's my handwriting," and then I'm terrified to death that my handwriting looks like this. Thank you so much, Nanny Goat. Hope you're having a great holiday, Merry Christmas Eve, because it is awesome. I get to have fun. I'm feeling 54% human now, so hopefully that will continue to increase. Okay. Oh, I know the jail is listening to my attorney-client calls, as on several occasions, I, commented about someone or something specifically, and the jail immediately acted upon it. "Well, didn't you try to escape, Leticia? Didn't you try to, hatch a plan to use a broom, I think, to knock out a window? He also, tried to brain a US Marshal with a Monster Energy drink." So, Leticia, yes, some phone calls will be recorded. And if you talk about, illegal shenanigans on there, they're probably going to act on it. Officers also wait outside the door. It's easy to hear. And sometimes a video camera is on at the TV near the phone. Sir, these things are a violation of my rights. You killed a kid. I really Ma'am, you are, as I told Sarah Boone yesterday, you are so incredibly lucky and blessed, Leticia Staunch, that you are in a country that values due process, evidence, and, blind justice from your peers. Because holy fazoli, I am so damn tired of, these people demanding all of the rights, all of the privileges when they've, clearly I'm borrowing from Dave Chappelle, he clearly was guilty. And then to have the self-righteous stick just shoved way up your behind, full Lemmy Wink style, that you are the right one. I am not saddling Sal with this crazy chick. I'm trying to keep him away from Jody. We need to find him a girl that doesn't have a rap sheet, just for a change. We need to start aiming just at people who do not have a felony or are on parole. Let's just move up a little bit. In addition, I have no way to write things down, as I am always restrained, with more times than not causing injury. Her little wristlets got hurt because she's in handcuffs because she unalived a 10-year-old. Oh, my heart weeps. I understand you cannot tell the jail how to run their facility, but being an erasing word, I know that I can't ignore my rights being violated. Well, you're writing to him, and I'm guessing you're wanting him to say something to someone. So you know that he is not able, but you want him to be an overarching, you know, judicial judge to go tell other entities how to run, but you will cry and complain and say that he was, biased and opinionated and, unrighteous in my case. But you want him to go over and use his gavel powers for stuff you want. Makes sense. Makes sense, Leticia. Next, sir, I understand that the Eighth Amendment protects from cruel and unusual punishment, and I know the Supreme Court says punishment can be just for crimes. However, I am in a county jail and I am presumed innocent. Not to mention, I am innocent, and we will prove it. I have been a pillar in my community in South Carolina. Holy deja vu. Sarah Boone totally plagiarized these. I mean, this is almost a copy paste AI. We're just going to changulate the words just a little bit, just a smidge. This is a Sarah Boone catastrophe. I have no adult record, never done drugs. So you were this bitchy, this evil, this terrible, sober? I don't know that that's a life achievement I would proclaim, Leticia. But okay, you were dead sober when you were a cold-blooded child murderer. Good to know. I'll keep that in mind, and I hope everyone keeps that in mind. But thanks for, telling the truth. I have a doctorate degree in education. Little tidbit, no, she doesn't. And not to joke on DeVry or Liberty University, she did have an associate's degree, I believe, in education or child development. It's been a while. I'll have to look back on that, to be very fair and honest. But she did not have a doctorate. In fact, she was fired from, I believe, 2 teaching positions or was about to be fired because they could not validate her educational credentials that she put down on her multiple or various resumes. They were in the process of getting ready to get rid of her because she did not, in fact, have a doctorate. But she does sign this letter, Dr. Leticia Staunch, medicine woman. I have proven myself as a responsible citizen and should not be subjected to the cruel punishment I receive at CJC. Over 15 times plus, I have been abused in transport, ranging from injured ribs, a knot on my head, several ankle and wrist bleedings, bruising on my knee in my cell, loss of feeling in my hands several times. I've had to be on Insure 2 weeks due to the poison comments. And just recently on 8/11/2020, I received threats in my peanut butter. You were never on drugs? Would you like to change your answer? Facts not in evidence here. You had notes in your peanut butter? Did it say Jiffy is better than Skippy? Did it say crunchy is good on some things, but smooth rules on some other things? Did it say Nutella is better? Because I provided evidence, not only my innocence, but evidence that will show who it was through my PI. As a result of this, I assume their runners use people in trusted positions in jail to send me threats in my food. This is when she was claiming that it was Landon, Gannon's mother, was somehow linked to cartels, and that's how Gannon was taken, and she had not, anything to do with it. So she is continuing to play out this fantasy of cartel involvement. Oh, that's cool. Knit a wow. I have to say that slowly and enunciate. Liberty has a big online degree division. I don't think it's a diploma mill, but no, you know what? As much as I joke about Liberty or things like that, I am so incredibly, you know, astonished and impressed with people that go back to school online or are able to do that. I know that for me, online school would be something that would not be functional for me, but I am so amazed with people with the self-discipline to sit there and actually do it with all of real life going around. And welcome, John C. Well, so apparently this is still where she was going. Uh, Dwayne, I curled my hair. It's still I didn't do the back because I was lazy, so it's still long. I just curled it. Megan always has the awesomest hair. Consistent awesome hair award goes to Megan. Inconsistent days of hair brilliance go to me. Welcome, Dwayne. All right. So she's been, hurt. She's got her little hands hurt, and she's got poison comments in her peanut butter because as you do, as you do. Let's see here. To send me threats in my food, and I'm terrified of what will happen next. I don't know how I'm supposed to properly defend myself going through this unfair punishment, being denied my constitutional rights, being denied access to my attorneys. Oh, thank you, Jerry Wayne. No, that's, as I said, inconsistent days of hair brilliance. So I may not always fully achieve these levels. There's going to be a lot of bun days. So I'm just letting you know Megan has won the award for consistent awesome hair, and I have random days of hair brilliance. So there's where we differ. She is like the good twin, and I am like the slightly chaotically neutral good-ish twin of the hair twins. All right, let's see. I am denied access to the law library and etc. I have, scrutinized, causing daily mental disturbances. I've been resisted, causing, or, restrained, causing injuries. This is not okay in a country. Everyone get your flags out, hands over hearts. We're going patriotic, bitches. This is not okay in a country in which our country prides itself on a democracy, a country with a flag that, quote, got a hole in it, end quote, at Flanders Field in World War one that turned blood red in World War II, and the one that got cut with a sword at Chancellorsville. Through all this, the flag stood. Oh, say, can you see the bullshit she is throwing? What so proudly she throws is a bunch of bullshit. Yes, Van Dyne, you'd think that an educational doctorate would know such things. And no, I can't see. I cannot sing. Well, I can't sing without warming up, and I didn't warm up. And I'm not going to do that now because no. Okay, still patriotic, still saluting. Let's see here. Through all this, the flag stood. We raise her up every morning because this country still believes in freedom, perseverance, justice, and vigilance. And I know what Congress decided on June 14th, 1797, Flag Day, that still ring true, that not even evil terrorists of 9/11 can take the American spirit away. What in the name of all that is Cheetos and heroin, how did we throw 9/11 in here? Again, just to restate what this heiferlump did. Gannon was reported missing by his stepmother on January 27th, 2020. She told the El Paso County Sheriff's Office that he left home at 3:15 p.m. to 4 to walk to a friend's home, but had never returned. The initial press release on his disappearance described him as a juvenile runaway. However, 3 days later, the sheriff's office reclassified his case as a missing or endangered person, citing information and evidence that they had recently gathered. Now, on March 2nd, 2020, Leticia Staunch was arrested in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, on charges of first degree murder of a child by a person in a position of trust, CA resulting in death, tampering with a deceased human body, and tampering with physical evidence. She was extradited to Colorado and held without bond. According to the affidavit, which was released May 5th, 2020, she unalived Gannon in his bedroom on the day he went missing. She stabbed him 18 fucking times. This bitch is over here talking about 9/11, raising our flag up, wielding the worst terrorist attack like a freaking badge of honor, some sort of twisted, ridiculous ideals of Americana to to excuse herself with what she did. Because not only did she stab him, she bludgeoned him in the head with some sort of, heavy object and also shot him. So she can shut right the hell up on My America and Dear God, what happened to My America? Because in My America, uh, you're just lucky that we don't go full Shrek with pitchforks and torches, okay, ma'am? Again, we are still on, for some reason, 9/11 and the American spirit. However, I am showing the same things. That flag shows valor, courage, purity, and innocence, to write to you to say, I do not feel like a US citizen being treated this way in my beloved country. I'm not getting a fair process. I'm not getting represented properly. And I'll give the benefit of the doubt to the pandemic, but the other unjust treatment is just not the way that our founding fathers intended this process to go. The founding fathers would have dipped you in oil, tar and feathered you. They'd have dunked you in a damn river to make sure you weren't a witch. The founding fathers would have lost their damn minds. Uh, Thank you so much. I got my hair done and put on makeup, and I feel slightly more human. So thank you guys so much. Uh, Alabama Rose, pretty much, be snarky, be okay, but don't bring up politics in the chat, and don't be an utter troll, douche canoe spammer. So keep it, you guys can disagree, but don't fight with each other. Don't make me turn the stream around and no one gets frosties. That's kind of the rules. Not, big deal. You can make fun of people. I like Leticia, but don't make fun of chatters. That's kind of them. Them is the rules. I need to sit down and make rules. I need the old rules. Let's see here. Not to mention no pandemic, no terrorist attack, no police riots, etc., can stop our country from being the greatest on the earth, upholding the law, staying true to following one's constitutional rights. I feel like I'm watching Starship Troopers right now, and they're like, are you going to fight for citizenship? Are you going to fight for citizenship? So I will. I think he's still, I don't know if he's at Walmart right now. I gave him a list. He hasn't texted me other than to ask if I can make peach cobbler as well. So I am not sure. But I feel like I am That whole little bit right there, the Americana, Jack and Diane sort of, summer of '69 stuff, I feel like it could have gone in Starship Troopers. Like, "The world needs you. Are you going for citizenship?" And it still does deeply disturb me that my handwriting is about like this. Oh, I saw that Jedi Jess. I think he is still in Walmart. Let's see. This is just the surface of my concerns. It is the iceberg. Tip. As you will see, they get only worse with illegal searches and seizures. I was a victim of coercion, as it is mental and physical. Sir, you can tell I'm educated. I know Miranda versus Arizona, etc. She's like, "I know objection." I feel like this is the start of Legally Blonde. I know how to use legal jargon in all sorts of, day-to-day situations. Objection, Your Honor. What the ever you know what? Even people with a general, just cursory knowledge of the world know Miranda versus Arizona. Now, had you said something like Plessy versus Ferguson, if you had said, I think it's the Mason decision or the Madison. Look, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. But I don't pretend to be a smarty smart pants because, I know certain jargony things. Just because I know, mitochondrial DNA doesn't mean they're gonna give me a CSI license, doesn't mean I can bust in on a crime scene and say, "Don't worry, I know mitochondrial DNA. I watch Discovery Channel. I'll take it from here." A person cannot perform under this scrutiny, abuse, coercion, etc. And that's what's happened throughout this entire process. Besides, due to info from my private investigator, Magnum PI, Tom Selleck, that mustache, that hair, and then you lost me on the shorty shorts. Magnum PI, the '80s, please, please, dear Lord, explain yourself. What was up with the Daisy Dukes for some men? I have had to look, I went through my dad's, Navy basic training kind of photo group, and Daisy Duke would have blushed at I mean, these were like gonna cut your junk off sorts of super shorty shorts. Imma need the '70s and '80s to explain male fashion to me. I have so many questions. Okay. I don't feel that El Paso has the jurisdiction, not to mention they have the wrong individual. Sure, Jan. I reach out to you to let you know that I am very concerned with this process because I know that you will uphold the integrity of the court with Tegrity Farms because integrity matters. Yes. Now, since she claimed to have DID, let's go with a Brooklyn accent. Let's see here. The judicial system that I know does not allow the law or a person who is presumed innocent and is to improperly defend themselves, to be subjected to daily abuse, and the Eighth Amendment violations does not deny Fifth and Sixth Amendment or speedy trials, does not interfere with client attorney privilege and, parentheses, yes, I can kill you or tell you, not kill, tell you many situations in which I know they are listening. They are listening to my conversation. And when I told them to stop, they did not. Does not physically, mentally, and emotionally abuse innocent people waiting on trial, does not allow that individual to be in danger, not just from inmates, but from employees. Your people are threatening me. And does not avoid these situations causing an individual's mental health. My mental is bad to decline and my safety to be at risk. I live each day not knowing what will happen to me next. What person will try to put something else in my food. They're putting stuff in my food. And I cannot hold on to a Brooklyn accent today to save my freaking life. I need to watch some more Bob's Burgers and Coffee Time. I support, law enforcement. I really do. I really do. I support our military, our country. And I know that a few bad apples slash incidents can ruin it for good people. I extend my concerns to you as a first step, sweetheart. Uh, because, my attorneys have refused to let you know due to the public knowing, but my life is on the line. I am innocent and I am ready to return home and use the doctoral degree that I worked diligently for and cannot do that if I am not afforded those rights. I don't have a visual description rule. Half of what I say are ad hominem attacks. I'd have to go off air. Tammy Faye, I will be speed running it probably next week. And New Year's Eve, I am hoping if the kids don't want me to hang out with them to get both of the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures and do a movie night on, Discord. So hopefully I can figure out how to do that in the intervening times. Uh, Tammy Faye, I will let you know that this was a case that involved a 10-year-old boy losing his life. It is not an easy case to follow. It does have a highlight of the defendant, Leticia Staunch, the person that was, adjudicated guilty in this case, and by all evidence was truly the unaliver. She tried to claim that she had dissociative identity disorder, that she was not the one, Letecia was not the one to unalive him. It was, in fact, one of her many alter egos. This was the first case I started out streaming on Dave's channel before I was kind of fully doing my own channel. So this is an unfortunate case to have started out on, but it does hold kind of a special place for me in cases because this was one of the first ones that I covered. Let's see. I am not afforded those rights. If I'm fighting for my life daily, parentheses, I'm clearly no threat to myself, end quote, etc. Again, this is just the surface of my concerns and asked that something be done so I can get this behind me, move past this trial in life. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, she and Sarah Boone are freaking twins. Just a little thing in life, just a little hiccup, just a recent unpleasantness, just an unfortunate situation. No, no, you killed a 10-year-old boy, you absolute psychopath. I Right, sure. You're innocent, it's all society's fault. You definitely found, the one-armed man or the spider monkey ninjas, like, uh, Ariel, Jodi Arias. Sure, sure you did. Ugh, Alabama Rose. as your future president in 2028, I approve this decision. We will live stream it and we will have, we'll have super soakers of holy water, calibrated to group chat because Mo's new campaign slogan for 2028. I know we just got done with an election. I know no one wants to think about it, but for 2028 is going to be Mo for president. We ain't in Geneva. I am going to get those shock shackles on Daryl Brooks. I swear to all that is holy. America, the world, humanity is owed at least one demonstration of Daryl Brooks in the shock shackles with a test run by every single one of his victims. Vote for me and I'll make it happen because who cares what Geneva thinks? It's time America starts doing, what it needs to do to make sure people aren't complete douchebags. Let's see here. To move past this trial in life, forgive those who prosecuted and afflicted me. Continue to be a soldier for Christ and repair my mental state. And most importantly, grieve. You unholy demon from the pits of hell or Arizona. They are synonymous to me. It is too damn hot in Arizona. I am so sorry. And I know Arizona is some people's jam, but to me, it would be the last place I would ever want to live. Captain Kern, I am incredibly jealous. I love a PT Cruiser. I never said I was good on automobiles. Hell, true story, you guys. My mom was taking me around, parking lots when I was about 15, getting ready to get my learner's permit and asking me what kind of cars I liked. Now, what car do you think that Mo picked out? Out of all the cars in all the parking lots, which car, just caught Mo's eye? Well, that would be a Pinto, y'all. The car that explodes if you rear end it. That was the car of my dreams. So just like you shouldn't trust me with directions, do not trust me with car ideas, okay? I need those constitutional rights in order to be successful and participate in this process. I am a prisoner, bound in chains, like Paul said, but I know my Bible is not bound. Actually, Bibles are generally bound because they're a book, unless you have a digital Bible on your tablet. But there you go. I also know he appointed people in authority and to respect them because they are chosen to uphold the law. Please accept this as my letter of letting you know first, not only going over the court's head, following the appropriate chain of command. Something has to be done, sir. Won't you think of the children? Except for that one I unalived and put in a suitcase. Well, can you hand it to me, please? Thank you very much. I love you so much. Mr. Mo is like, these children are incredibly hyper on sugar. And thank you very much, Jedi Jess. I am opening this. Sorry about the unintentional ASMR. Actually, I'll. Thank you so much, Jedi Jess. And thank all of you. I really want to thank all of you for really hanging in there with me. I feel like this year I finally gotten kind of my groove back. since my diagnosis, and I really think it's down to having a bunch of support from my family, but also from you guys, and they really got this package to size ratio quite snug. We're gonna need some lube. If I have to call Mr. Mo back here to help me get this out of the bag, he is gonna lose his sanity. He's like, "You are a flippin' nut." And I am. I'm okay with that. Thank you, Star Chris Z. Gonna need some Pam spray. Only because I love these bags. My stepmom, my bonus mom, is awesome, and when she used to do Amazon, she would get the gift bags. And oh, Tammy Faye, it's CRPS. So if you watch the Maya Kowalski trial, while Maya has it more on over her body, my left leg and some of my right. Did you get me the fireplace scent warmer that you have? Thank you so very, very much. I have been so jealous of your fireplace, but I could not justify, spending that when I still had kiddo gifts and other gifts to get. So thank you so very much. It's something I love presents that I find or I can give people that are know is something that they really want, but they would never really buy for themselves. I kinda like to get the kinda goofy gifts. Um, but thank you so very much. I am going to plug that in and put it on one of the shelves because I loved yours. I was so jealous. I was like, "That is the coolest thing." Alright, so let's see if she's still a warrior for Christ. Because good lord. Okay, uh, so thank you. God bless. Dr. Leticia Staunch. P.S. If there is any way possible to receive acknowledgement of your receipt of this letter so I know that you are aware. Well, unlike, Sarah Boone, I guess she didn't know that you only have to ask the county clerk to make you a a copy. Oh, thank you, Birdie. When you catch up, you'll catch up. Now, she only wrote 2 letters that I am aware of. If she did write more letters, I will look around, but as far as I'm aware, she only wrote 2 letters to her judge. So this is in February 21st, 2021. Fun Diane, I like that. So, Judge Werner. Now, I am just amazed at the difference in the handwriting. Now, I haven't studied handwritingology, but I know Sarah Adams has, so I may have her check out these letters and just give me kind of maybe a thought on it. But I mean, like I said, as much as it's horrifying, this is definitely my style of handwriting, and it is very hard for me to write like this. It isn't I would maybe start 2 or 3 sentences in this kind of font, for lack of a better word, but it would deteriorate back to this. This is just my normal handwriting. So this is really jarring to me. Now, again, I am not an expertologist on handwriting or, letter formation. So I'll just say that she is a couple eggs short of a dozen. She is what I like to call 10 pounds of crazy in a 2-pound sack, but not legally insane, just morally, spiritually bankrupt with no soul. Judge Werner. On 2/19/2021, I was unable to talk with Judge Bain about my conflicts with my defense team due to 1, the actual privacy of the booth and the transport over. I explained in detail to him, expressing my concerns of privacy. 2, I had a very difficult morning mentally because I am not mentally well. one of the only true statements you ever made. One of the main issues with my attorneys is their lack of ability to gather evidence. How dare they? Due to this, I find little value in the term expert. First, they were unable to obtain my medical health records from Charleston, South Carolina, mostly because you lied about everything in your life. So my guess is she is talking about medical records in South Carolina. Um, Apparently, she was hospitalized for some sort of mental break or something like that, but she told her daughter she had cancer. So instead of telling her daughter that, you know, mommy's having a hard time, mommy needs to go to the hospital to work on some things, but I will be coming home. They will give me help. They will give me tools to be a better person, to better deal with some of the things in my life. She told her daughter she was going in for cancer to put that worry in her daughter's brain. My guess is those are the medical records she wanted them to obtain to give herself a track record of having mental health disturbances. In 2016, I was diagnosed with blank and received treatment before work over 28 hours of care. The school district even provided extra services and later let me medically resign due to the ongoing reality break. In 2018, I was hospitalized in Canada. Thank you so much, Phoenix Fire. And yes, parsimonious. I saw that. I wanted to pull it up and then I almost forgot. Parsimonious is awesome. And I wish I could only buy necessities, but I'm like a bass. I get confused by shiny things. I can't go near a fishing boat just there, just touching the glitter paint. Yeah, she has terminal cuntitis. And apparently she spread it to Sarah Boone. She is patient 0, though I think Diane Downs is patient 0 for this kinda crap. But I know there were mothers earlier. History is never, the beginning. There's always gonna be heroes before it and villains before what you're looking at. Ooh, Soviet Kuk Kenneth Kentuckistani. I can't say that. Oh my gosh. What is wrong with me? Let's see. In 2018, I was hospitalized in Canada. Now, there were actually no records of this Canadian mental health, I guess, meeting or, medical health treatment. So, this is something that seems most likely fabricated by someone who cannot distinguish when she's lying or when she's telling the truth. She, in fact, does not live anywhere near the town of Truth and has never even traveled within 50 miles. I tell you this because it sets the stage for why I cannot work with my attorneys. I signed release forms for them to get all this information so they would have a better understanding of why I'm all over the place some days. I asked them to use the info from a non-biased doctor who, oh, parentheses, who worked with me more than 2 hours. All right, call me crazy, but I think a full like personality, testing and diagnostic interview would take more than 2 hours. But maybe it's like multiple choice Scantron and you just mark always C and you get uh JH or JWH, Leticia Staunch. It was a case from, let me go back because I have to pull this up. May 8th, 2023. Now, it was a 5-week trial, so I'm probably going to be picking and choosing and getting different things up. But this was basically the first case I ever semi-covered, on Dave's channel, and it is fairly interesting because Leticia Staunch's defense is that she has multiple personalities. So in this letter, I think what Leticia lacks with actual, real world, real life, and mental intelligence she makes up for in cunning. So she is laying the foundation. She is manipulating and laying the foundation to establish that she has always had periods of time where she's lost contact with reality. And, the only way that she would have ever hurt her stepson Gannon is if one of these other personalities had taken over. Because one of the personalities was a Cuban KGB assassin named Maria. One was named Little Lucia, one was named Gladys. I'm making Gladys up, but she had a bunch of different freaking, personalities and an expert who showed up high as ballsack, to the trial and late as hell, to basically state that Leticia was maybe not legally insane, but she definitely had multiple personalities. Leticia also blamed Gavin's mother, Cartel's, Eduardo, Jerry Brown, or Jerry Jones, some other Jenkins. No, dear Lord, I can't remember, and I don't wanna say a bunch of names and have people link that when I'm throwing things out randomly. But she did name another person who is known to be an escaped or on the run fugitive in the area as having either attacked her or taken Gavin. There was also a fake pregnant woman who accosted her and Gavin in Petco. Uh, yeah, it 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 is nuts. I mean, it might not be as much of a speed run. This might be one of those trials where I kind of do like the Jodi Arias thing, and it'll be on a Sunday. So, as I'm thinking of it now, if it is a 5-week trial, we might be doing a kind of Sunday, Gannon Stauch trial throughout the year. Hopefully, we should get it done by, mid-year, and then we can pick another Wednesday trial day. But, yeah, I need to look up this Mr. Pancake story. I got way into listening to Dune lore, yesterday for some reason as I was baking cookies with the children. So, there we go. That is my life, my glamorous life. Okay, let's see here. I asked them to use the unbiased doctor who worked with me for more than 2 hours, but they sent a lady who was clearly an actress and friends with the DA. Um, sure, they're sending in fake therapists. Sounds like something the state would do. She spoke about him in an unprofessional manner, their history, his election. Good thing she really, made that L look right because I was going to say erection, but I didn't figure that was something a therapist would talk to a client about. But I don't know. It's 2024. What do I know? Maybe peen talk is all the rage in therapy now. Uh, Now I am sure that all this was true, but I thought she worked for the court, not one particular side. My attorneys did this to make me look like a perjurous individual. Instead, it was malfeasance on their part. I have included several reasons to support my claim as I kept a timeline of these conflicts. Karen has the receipts and she's about to mic drop. Communication is broken beyond repair, underlined. I explained these issues to Judge Bain, including the lack of access and visitations in complete detail. Inconsiderate of evidence, underline. Since March 2020, I asked my attorneys to preserve the GameStop footage, to locate the Texas police officer whom I spoke with, and to get this cruise passenger list. Instead, they spent months contacting my family for mitigation. When asked certain things, they kept saying they will let the investigators know. 1 year later, same answer. My evidence underline. I, me, myself, and Irene haven't physically, futuristically, and planetarily seen any while being held at CJC for a year. Yes, the COOF, but inmates were still being held as our constitutional rights were adjusted. Duh. Overlooking statute and evidence underline. They overlooked the competency statute about the video recording. Human error? Question mark? Or stupidity? Okay, but this happens often with evidence in which me, the non expert, has to provide corrections to the evidence. Well, I mean, this Mensa member is going to tell us how to be smart. Sharing info, underlined. They were texting my family and giving them info that they should not have, causing several disputes. You stabbed, bludgeoned, and shot a baby boy only 10 years old, stuffed him into a suitcase, drove him across the country, all while you were holding, the possibility of him still being alive over his family. The word thunder cunt doesn't even cover it. You are a soulless harpy. You are evidence that evil walks among us in human flesh. You are evidence that evil doesn't have a reason, but it has bodies it controls. You disgusting pig. My judge underlined. They filled that motion knowing this county would not grant me a new attorney to sabotage my chances of a trial by judge. They knew I wanted to present evidence to him without exposing any information on my son's father. However, they created incorrect conflicts instead of addressing the real issues. They could have filed the pro se only instead of talking about my defense to sabotage my trial by judge. Defenses underlined. Indeed, I am innocent, but I will not put myself or others in danger running the defense against my biological son when the system is letting two men run free who are involved. One is a prominent member of a quote unquote independent business. They used the NGRI to get a hearing knowing that I am not guilty to cover up their lack of representation. Although I had quote unquote bouts of insanity and still do, I did not murder or abuse anyone, nor would that be a defense because it is my understanding that you actually did do it. What was that sentence? Okay, I'm reading this again. Maybe if you guys can parse the meaning out of this word vomit. Although I had my quote unquote bouts of insanity and still do, comma, I did not murder or abuse anyone, nor would that be a defense because it's my understanding that you actually did do it. Is that making sense to anyone in chat? Am I having a moment? I am not smelling burnt toast, but it's very possible that Christmas stress and my to do list growing longer and longer has given me a minor break with reality. But that sentence in no way, shape, or form made sense to me. Oh, she's saying the judge did it. Okay, thank you, King Bob. However, I will protect my bio son and I will protect the drugs and violence documented from my stepson. Gannon, so Leticia, in her bid to make Gannon look like a problem child early in the case, when she was alleging that he had run away because he could not play with his Nintendo Switch due to possibly knocking over a candle and damaging some carpet in the basement of their rental home. Now, again, all of this information comes from Leticia. However, she did claim that he was going over to a friend's house to look at bath salts. That was something that she planted with her husband, Al. And then with the police officers, she planted that she found a Swiffer sweet or Swisher sweet, um, the cigarettes they use to put the devil's lettuce in his backpack. So, and she also does not have a biological son. I didn't wanna say she doesn't have a biological son definitively when I could not remember, but to all my knowledge, she does not have a stepson. I mean, she does have a stepson, she doesn't have a biological son. The truth is the court is holding the wrong person and for the wrong crime. This whole process has been nefarious. From denying me an attorney, threatening me in the bathroom away from cameras to confess, taking advantage of me being delusional, threatening my other kids' freedom or else, etc. I am going to keep making it known, sir, just how much the state has done in this wrongful incarceration. I will continue to be an advocate for myself because I am not a murderer. And the level that the prosecution goes through to promote a wrongful conviction is absurd. Truth is, they could see a video from someone else and they would dismiss that person as a lunatic. They have far too much invested in this wrongful incarceration to admit they were or are wrong. For these reasons, and because my defense team is in cahoots, well, at least they're not in Kalamazoo, with them, I'm left with no other choice but to represent myself. As God as my witness, I will never depend on a man again. Okay, okay, ma'am. Everything and every day I am getting worse mentally due to the inadequate representation and being held hostage for a crime I didn't commit. These are my conflict issues, plus my reason to ask to go pro se. As always, thank you for your time. Let's see if she is still Dr. Leticia Staunch. No, she is just a scribble now. So there you go. To get us ready for Legal Shenanigans Theater, we will be doing her interrogation where she acted like a toddler and peed her pants this week. So get ready to gear up for that. And now that I'm thinking about it, I really like the idea of having sort of a Jodi Arias Sunday. I will try to have rotating people on with me, but I'm really liking the idea. So I'm going to flesh that out. But I'm also going to get started wrapping gifts because I am a procrastinating person this year. So I hope that you all have a very Merry Christmas. Depending on how the day is like, maybe in the evening I might get on just to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and have a little short live stream, uh, just kind of hang out. That is not, concrete, but have a lovely Merry Christmas. You know, reach out to your family, reach out to your friends, and if your family are gross jerks, I I am sure there will be people streaming, and you can hang out with us because we love you guys. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful Christmas Eve. Also take a couple minutes to just be still and enjoy this time with people. We get really, really busy. And if anything, I've really learned the value in slowing down and having to be slower and really enjoy each minute without hurrying to do the next thing. So, thank you guys so much for your support. Can't wait to see what I do in the new year, what we get into. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.